He was handsome, charismatic. He seemed so normal, but beneath the surface, Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer harbored a darkness that would shock the world. Between 1978 and 1991, Dahmer committed unspeakable acts, claiming the lives of 17 young men. His crimes, a horrifying blend of murder, dismemberment and cannibalism, remain etched in the annals of criminal history. Dahmer's victims were mostly young men of color, lured to his apartment with promises of money or companionship. He drugged, tortured and murdered them, often preserving body parts as gruesome trophies. His apartment became a macabre museum of horror, reeking of death and filled with the tools of his depravity. The world watched in disbelief as the details of Dahmer's crimes unfolded. How could someone commit such atrocities, and how could he evade capture for so long? The answers lie in a complex web of factors, from Dahmer's own twisted psyche to systemic failures that allowed him to operate undetected. Dahmer's story is not for the faint of heart. It's a chilling reminder that monsters can lurk beneath the most ordinary facades and that evil can flourish in the shadows. Was Jeffrey Dahmer born evil? Or was he a product of his environment? It's a question that continues to be debated. Born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Dahmer's childhood was marked by both normalcy and neglect. Some point to Dahmer's early fascination with death, his interest in animal bones as early warning signs. Others argue that his parents' tumultuous relationship and his own feelings of isolation created a breeding ground for darkness. Whatever the root cause, Dahmer's descent into depravity was a gradual one. As a teenager, his morbid curiosities grew. He began fantasizing about control and domination, his thoughts turning increasingly violent. His first murder, committed just weeks after his high school graduation, set in motion a chain of events that would culminate in unimaginable horror. It's a stark reminder that the seeds of evil can be sown early, sometimes blooming in the most unexpected of places. Dahmer's methods were calculated, his cruelty escalating with each victim. He would lure young men, often from marginalized communities, to his apartment with the promise of money or a modeling opportunity. Once inside, he would drug their drinks, rendering them helpless. Then the real horror would begin. Dahmer would strangle his victims, often engaging in necrophilia and dismemberment. Driven by a twisted desire to possess his victims, he would keep body parts as souvenirs, dissolving others in acid to dispose of the evidence. His apartment, once an ordinary dwelling, transformed into a macabre chamber of horrors. The stench of death permeated the air, a testament to the unspeakable acts committed within its walls. The details, too gruesome to fully recount, paint a chilling portrait of a mind consumed by darkness. Evading justice, a killer hides in plain sight. For over a decade, Dahmer operated under the radar, a predator hiding in plain sight. How did he manage to evade capture for so long? A combination of factors contributed to his ability to continue his killing spree. Dahmer often targeted vulnerable young men, runaways, or those estranged from their families, making them less likely to be reported missing. His crimes, though horrific, were often committed within the confines of his own apartment, minimizing the risk of witnesses. There were missed opportunities too, police encounters, neighbors complaining about the smell, even a near escape by one of his victims. All failed to expose Dahmer's true nature. These failures, a combination of negligence and systemic biases, allowed a monster to roam free. Dahmer's case serves as a stark reminder that even in a society governed by law, evil can find ways to thrive, exploiting vulnerabilities and evading justice, sometimes for far too long. The walls close in Dahmer's reign of terror ends. July 22, 1991. The night Dahmer's reign of terror finally ended.
Tracy Edwards, a young man who narrowly escaped Dahmer's clutches, flagged down police officers. He told a chilling tale of being drugged and nearly becoming Dahmer's next victim. The officers, skeptical at first, agreed to accompany Edwards back to Dahmer's apartment. What they found inside would shake even the most seasoned investigators to their core.
Polaroid pictures of dismembered bodies scattered throughout the apartment, a refrigerator filled with human remains, the stench of death clinging to the air. Dahmer was arrested that night, his reign of terror finally brought to an end. The discovery of his crimes sent shockwaves through Milwaukee and beyond, exposing the dark underbelly of a seemingly ordinary neighborhood. The world watched in horror as the extent of Dahmer's depravity was revealed, forever changing the landscape of criminal history. The scars of evil, Dahmer's legacy of pain. The legacy of Jeffrey Dahmer is one of profound pain and loss. His crimes left an indelible scar on the lives of his victims' families, forever haunted by the gruesome circumstances of their loved ones' deaths. The trial, a media spectacle, brought little solace.
Dahmer was found guilty on 15 counts of murder and sentenced to 15 consecutive life sentences. Yet true justice seemed elusive. The families grappled with the knowledge that no punishment could ever erase the pain inflicted upon them.
Dahmer's case also forced a societal reckoning, highlighting systemic failures within law enforcement and exposing vulnerabilities that allowed his crimes to continue unchecked. It served as a grim reminder of the importance of vigilance, of listening to marginalized voices, and of holding institutions accountable for their role in protecting the vulnerable.
Dahmer's story, though difficult to confront, serves as a stark reminder of the capacity for evil that exists within humanity. It's a story that continues to fascinate and horrify, forcing us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves and the world we live in.